Hello, I'm Beth. In this mindfulness-based meditation, we are going to explore the idea of thoughts as trains. So this will be a visualization meditation where we'll use the idea of trains passing through a station as a metaphor for our thoughts. To get started, find a place where you're comfortable, either seated in a chair like I am. You can also be lying down. The main important things are that you are comfortable and yet alert and attentive to my voice as I guide you through this meditation. So as we get started, I invite you to become curious. Take your curiosity and turn your attention to your body. If you're seated, you might notice where your body is seated in the chair. You might feel the parts of your body that are touching the chair. Your clothes resting on your body. Or if you're lying, your back body resting on the ground, the couch, the bed, wherever you are. Gently encourage yourself to soften any areas you notice that are tight or tense. Allow what's ever underneath you to be supporting you during this process. And then gradually start to bring your attention toward your breath. Now, it's not necessary to do anything here to change your breath, to change the pattern, make it longer, softer, deeper. We simply want to bring a sense of awareness to our breath, noticing where you can most easily feel the breath. Perhaps it's right in the area of your nostrils. Maybe you feel it more in your chest. Perhaps it's around your ribs, your belly. In this part of the exercise, we're simply noticing, creating greater awareness and attention on our breath, and giving ourselves permission to be here in this space and not having to do anything else, not having to focus on anything but the breath. Now, of course, as you bring your awareness and attention to your breath, you will notice that your mind wanders. That is not only okay, it's normal and natural. That is what the mind does. The mind produces thoughts. We don't want to stop that. We don't want to change that. So we're going to allow in this meditation, in this train metaphor, those thoughts to happen. So as you bring your attention back to the breath, know that we may have to do this again and again, return the attention to the breath. So let's take a moment to do that before we start the train visualization. And once again, draw your attention back to your breath. You have the option of placing a hand somewhere on the body where you feel the breath to help you make that connection to breath. And then as you notice thoughts coming up, thoughts that are drawing your attention away, distracting you from your breath, we'll visualize the idea of a train station where you can observe the whole station, the central part of the station, and the trains passing through the station. Each of your thoughts is like one of the trains. So we're going to imagine that with each thought that comes up, each new thought, it's like a train passing through the station. Now station is not a stop. The trains are ongoing, and yet we don't need to hurry them along, push them away. We also don't need to jump on that train and follow the train of thought to the next stop. We are taking an observing stance, noticing each train. Maybe there's multiple tracks, multiple trains going by at the same time at different rates, also okay. And as you notice this, keep bringing your attention back to your breath. So notice the trains, let those thoughts pass through, whether it is a neutral or innocuous thought, like what you're going to have for dinner later, a pleasant thought, a memory that's drawing you away, a worrisome, anxious, or more unpleasant thought. We let them all flow through the train station. Again, some of these trains, some of these thoughts might be brand new. You might never have seen this one before. Others might be frequent visitors, things that have come up again and again. That's okay. Whether it's a new thought, a recurring thought, see it as a train. See it travel down the tracks at whatever rate it's going, fast or slow. It could be a little lurching. It's having trouble sputtering and getting along, and yet it's still going through, still passing through the station. And as you're in that role of observer, you're taking the attention back to the breath again and again. Perhaps you've kept a hand somewhere on your body where you can feel the breath the whole time, even as you're observing the trains. Be kind to your wandering mind. Remember that producing thoughts is what our brains do. It's a human thing, not at all a bad or a negative thing. And yet we can develop the skill of allowing the thoughts to pass through, not having to have the train make a stop at the station, not having to jump on the train and follow it to the next station. Take just a few more moments to continue this experience, this visualization of following the thoughts as trains as they go by. And then we'll begin to come out of this exercise, returning to the breath. Take a full, complete breath, noticing the breath on the inhale, and then fully noticing the breath on the exhale. And then we'll conclude this exercise. You can come back to this exercise again and again. If you'd like to try something similar with the idea of a visualization of a river, you might also like the leaves on the river. I'll link to some other meditations down here as well. Thank you very much for joining me today. If this was helpful, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see more of.